Hey Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? It's good to meet
Yeah,
you.
yeah, good to meet you too. I'm all right, thank you. Yeah. It's nearly
Good.
dinner time in London, so let's get through
Okay.
it quick.
Yeah.
First question, serious journalism first and foremost. First, have you got better around babies? Because
I'd like to hope so. Like I say, like I didn't do anything. It's just like I assumed.
I feel your pain. I feel like that's how babies are treated with me. Although my new nephew seems to be okay, so maybe that's a good thing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You won't end up, murdering him years later.
Yeah, when he's about, I'll give him 10 years free of charge. It's all good. Also, whose choice was the hair? Does when you put on a wig like that, does it help you get into the character? Unless it was your own hair, of course, and you grew it out. You do have
No,
quite long hair,
was
but does that help?
yeah, it wasn't my own hair. It totally does. The hair, and then I wear false teeth. There's this chip in my
Right,
tooth.
right.
So those two, yeah, there's like a kind of like it's just like a routine, it's sort of like when you put it on and you wear the wig, you sort of kind of get into character in the certain way. I also had a playlist for Tony that I would listen to in kind of the same order. So like all together, it's like Pavlov's dogs. Like you just like start like salivating, when you hear the bell, like you start becoming it through that routine. So that helped a tremendous amount. That's all, Sean, the hair head hair department, he, really came in and made it work. But whose idea it was specifically, I'm not sure. It wasn't mine. I know that. So I'm gonna guess David.
Just take credit for it. Just take
Yeah,
credit for it.
I
If
should.
no, you don't know whose it was.
You're right. I'll do that from
um,
now on.
yeah, and in terms of obviously playing Tony Soprano, obviously it was there's a previous character played by your dad and everything else, but you're so far removed from that version that you get to do your own version. Was it important for you and for David and everyone to just treat it as if it wasn't Tony Soprano that we know, that it's a very kind of formative years and that it's very different and you can just do what you think is right for the role?
Yeah, I mean, I think in some regard that was David and myself's draw to it, and Alan's draw to it, is that it's a completely different character. We're not just beating a dead horse, we're telling a new layer, a new element to this character. Which was, so important. I don't know about David's journey writing it or Alan's journey directing it, but I know that my kind of journey was I'm allowed to think about Tony in the show through the prep. And once we start filming, I'm not. So I lived, breathed, slept Sopranos during the prep. I watched it over and over and over again, got his mannerisms. The accent was very important, and the physicality, how I hold my head, how I hold my eyes, how I sound, how I sit or walk. All those things are very important to me. The little gestures, because you can't ignore that you're playing an iconic character that people need to recognize. They have to recognize that's Tony, even though he's different. It's almost more important that you recognize him physically and through his mannerisms because you're playing an emotional, different Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the scene as well. Just very quickly before I go, the scene where you're on the phone, not to give any spoilers away, and you just see that little change.
Yeah.
How that was that important that you got that kind of on film, that there was that slight kind of change, and you see a little glimpse of what's to come, if you like.
It's everything. That is,
Yeah.
one of the most important scenes because it shows you that it shows you where he's going, and it shows you that he starts here and he ends here. It's a real arc, and that anger and that resentment, it grows and grows, and kind of suffocates that sweetness and that creative kind of nerdiness that he has at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, listen, thank you so much for your time. Pleasure talking to you, and yeah, good luck with the film. Thanks
Thank
so
you very
much.
much. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,